Alright, y'all. AEW Dynamite review for January 19th, 2022. Jon Moxley's back, y'all. So he gets in the ring. There's a heckler in the crowd. Just tells him to go fuck himself. And then he starts by saying there's a black cloud hanging over him like a demon. A demon that follows you around your whole life. Nobody gets through life unscathed. We all carry scars. Says the scars we carry on the inside are hard to see. Says those are the scars we should be proud of. And then to end the segment, he says, "All I drink is blood." It's good to see him back. He's lost weight. Looks good, in better shape than before he left for rehab. All right, next segment: MJF and Wardlow. MJF says last week was an embarrassment. Says Punk took the easy way out and he decided to pull Wardlow by the hair in tights for a tainted pinfall victory. And then he tells Wardlow he's going to dock his pay because of that loss. And then he tells Wardlow if you qualify for the Revolution ladder match, your pay will go back up. And then he says, MJF says Spears is going to show the world and Wardlow how to get the job done. And then Wardlow had like a little smirk on his face. So I guess they're just further driving the tension between MJF and Wardlow. Alright, so first match, Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. There was just a bunch of nonsense at the beginning. They were just, Cole and Baker were just tagging in and out of the match. And then back from commercial, Cole and Cassidy both hit clotheslines on each other. Statlander and Baker tag in. Statlander hits a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. Britt hits a neck breaker. Cassidy and Cole trade punches. Cole faked a high kick and then he hit him low. Adam Cole hit a enziguri. Adam Cole goes for a suplex. Orange counters it into a stun dog millionaire. And then Baker tags himself in. He hits a curb stomp on Cassidy. And then Statlander hits a 450 splash on Baker and Cole. Or she was going to hit it on Britt Baker. And then Adam Cole basically shielding her. She doesn't want her to take the 450, so she hit it on both of them. Orange hits a beach break on Cole for a near fall. Cassidy goes for a dive to the outside, and his feet get caught up in the top rope. And then Cole hits a super kick on Orange Cassidy. What was it next? So Adam Cole's, he's going to hit the Canadian Destroyer on Chris Statlander. And then Britt Baker just blindside kicks her, I guess, just out of nowhere. They didn't show it. And then Britt Baker hits a Canadian Destroyer on Statlander on the rampway. And then Cole hits a Canadian Destroyer on Cassidy from the second rope for a near fall. That was a cool looking spot. Cole and Baker set up a table outside the ring. Cole goes into the ring. Baker's on the apron. And then Orange goes for an orange punch and misses. And then he braces himself on the ropes, I guess. And then Baker goes through the table. Cole hits his low blow on Cassidy and the knee to the back of his head for the win. And then just after the match, Adam Cole just pissed off and shit. And then next, another segment, Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. Jericho says, I don't give a rat's ass about Eddie Kingston. And then Ortiz says, you might not care about Eddie Kingston, but we do. But we do, so tread carefully when you mention his name. Santana says, maybe you are the reason we are not the tag champs. Everybody from the Pinnacle to the Elite, now Garcia and 2.0. Says, we've been fighting your battle since day one. When have you had our backs? truly, he says, maybe next week we'll prove to you we don't need you to win. Next week we will focus more on us, being Santana Ortiz and the group, the inner circle. So I guess they might split away from Jericho, I think, in a few weeks. They've been together for a while, so we'll see what happens. And then just Adam Cole, just pissed off in the back, so he challenges Orange Cassidy to a lights out match. I think it was the first one, or it's the second one. Last one was Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. We got CM Punk versus Shawn Spears next. Punk just pretty much, this was a quick match. Punk just hits a GTS on Spears for the win. And then Punk celebrates on the turnbuckle, and MJF sneaks behind him. Punk sees him when he turns around, and then MJF pretty much just runs away then. I guess with this match, they're probably trying to make Punk look strong, I guess, after Wardlow beat the shit out of him last week. I guess that was the point of this, or a quick match like this. So Cody Rhodes, alright, next segment, Cody Rhodes sets up a ladder during a commercial in the middle of the ring. And then back from commercial, he says, alright, so this was a long segment. Says he's reminded by that last match about a man who once sat on a stage just like that and looked at a ring just like this, and he gave one of the most important addresses, however you want to say it. He's talking about CM Punk and the pipe bomb. That was years ago. And he says in that interview, that was the first whiff of a revolution. He listed things like going to New Japan, working with ROH, Ring of Honor, teaming up with the Young Bucks. Said he was unable to do those things, but he would eventually wind up here. And he calls CM Punk's comeback of the decade. And then he says in Punk's absence, somebody did each and every one of those things. Says he did them. Says he was the one who built the Forbidden Door. And then Cody says he's gone for 2 weeks, and he sees the Young Bucks almost start the Wednesday Night Wars all over again. And then he says he doesn't need to see the Bucks beat the developmental class more than once. And then he says, I know we're not in the business of renaming people like Gunnar McGillibuddy. I think that's what he said. Just making fun of WWE, or just firing shots at WWE for changing Walter's name. And then he says, if you come to AEW and call yourself Brody, you got balls. He's talking about Brody King. Alright, next he says, every title that doesn't have the word world in it is a secondary belt. And then he says, but we don't have secondary belts because right now there's 2. And he says, it's pretty clear what we do. It was an okay promo, just all over the place. Alright, so next match, you got Malachi Black and Brody King versus Garrison and Brian Pillman. This was a short match, not a lot happened. So they pick up Malachi Black and Brody King pick up the win. And then at the end of the match, or after the match is over, they show a vignette of Pac. And he says he thanks to the House of Black because of them he has a new vision. And then Pac pretty much send a message or a threat to Malachi Black, I guess. They're going to be feuding whenever Pac gets back. Alright, next we got Frankie Kazarian versus Lance Archer. This was not that good of a match. It was very boring. Crowd was mostly dead for this match. They pretty much only cheered when Frankie started to fight back. And Archer hit the blackout for the win. And then Archer's about to choke slam. Frankie Hangman comes out and he slaps Archer and they just brawl to end it. This Archer versus Hangman. I don't think it should be on the Revolution pay-per-view. Doesn't feel that big of a match because Archer just got back from injury, right? So, and is pretty much, that's like his first big match as the world title match for Archer. Next match is Serena D versus Sky Blue. Serena D pretty much destroyed Sky Blue. What's next? Oh, Andrade and HFO, Hardy Family Office in the back. Don't really care about this storyline. I don't know where they're going with this. I guess so. Andrade gets 51% of HFO, and then Hardy gets 49%. So I guess Andrade's in control now of Hardy Family Office. I don't know, probably. And then they'll probably do a Hardy Boys reunion soon with Matt and Jeff, I guess, whenever he signs. But I think he should focus, or Jeff should, I think, just focus on himself. Next, all right, main event. We got Darby Allin and Sting versus the Acclaimed. Start the match. The Acclaimed put a chair around Darby's neck, and then they pull I forgot who it was. One of the members of the Acclaimed dragged or pulled Darby into the ring pole in the turnbuckle area. So that pretty much made a handicap match for most of it until about the end. Sting sends both members, the Acclaimed, into the steps one at a time. Back in the ring, Sting hits a stinger splash on Caster. Bowens removes the turnbuckle padding while Sting hits a stinger splash on Caster. He goes for the stinger splash on Bowens in the corner and he misses. And he goes into the exposed turnbuckle. Alright, so back from commercial. Sting hits a double clothesline. Sting locks in a Scorpion Deathlock on Caster. Bowens kicks him. Or he punched him first. Sting no-selled it, and then Bowens kicked him, and then Sting went down. Bowens hit Sting on the outside with the boombox. Caster is standing on the steps. I guess they're trying to set up Sting for, I don't know, a suplex or a pile driver or something. And then they show Darby Allin just comes flying through the crowd. But they didn't have the angle, so the angle that they did have, it looked pretty badass. Just showing Darby coming out of nowhere. And then Darby hits back in the ring, Darby hits a code red on Caster for a near fall. Darby locks in a guillotine. Caster fights back to his own corner, tags in Bowens. The Acclaim hits a mic drop. They get a pin, and then or they go for the pin. Sting breaks it up, and then this was the best spot of the night, I think, or the best moment, I guess. What are we going to call it? Sting goes onto the stage, and people are like wondering what he's doing. So he's beside the announce table. I think they showed Max Caster. They didn't show him going on the table, but then I think they did. I can't remember. But he was like hunched over or bent over on the table, and then Sting just flies out of nowhere and does a diving splash onto the table, man. Crazy, man. He's 60 years old and he's doing diving splashes off the stage onto a table. And then Darby hits a coffin drop for the win. Thought this was a good match. Sting held his own for a bit there. He was on his own while they took Darby to the back. Yeah, I thought it was overall a good show. Some boring matches, some good matches, I guess. Segments. The Cody segment was okay, and Moxley segment was really good. What was the other ones? I like the Ortiz and Santana. Ortiz and Santana, I think they should do more segments. They're really good. When they get into their promos, they can really go on the mic. They're really good. What else? Next week, just trying to remember the matches. Got Adam Cole versus Cassidy lights out match. What else was it? Oh yeah, Moxley's facing Ethan Page on Rampage Friday. And ladder match, Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara next week for the TNT title. Should be a good match. Yeah, so overall, it was a good show, I guess. All right, see ya.